Hi, my name is Jesse McDaniel, and I'm going to be talking about the BSA. So, the Boy Scouts of America actually started around 1910 when it actually came from England when Baden-Powell uh, looked over there and seen that their Boy Scouts and what they did and how they accomplished everything. And he really thought that they were teaching good moral values. So then he brings it over, and now it's one of the biggest nonprofit organizations for the youth in the world. Me personally, I've been in Boy Scouts my entire life. I since first grade, and I'm actually an Eagle Scout. As like all my achievements are actually behind me right now. But yeah, Boy Scouts has a huge role in my life. So the first thing I would like to talk about is the actual lessons that are taught in Boy Scouts. Uh, of course, Boy Scouts, everybody thinks of like going outside camping, which is my favorite part. But you learn skills like outdoor first aid, shelter building, even knots, which is really through the needed through Boy Scouts. And it can become a major life skill later on because you're never gonna know what situation you'll be in inside your life. That's one of the main things Boy Scouts does is to prepare you for every single situation possible. The information right there with from the article from Green. It also forces people to push their limits. I know many people before Boy Scout that can't swim, and then they become when they're finally aged out at 18, they're one of the best swimmers I know. It just makes you try so many new things that a lot of people won't be able to accomplish. I also is a positive outside the home influence. Where I come from, there's not a lot of those. A lot of kids from my area and surrounding areas, Boy Scouts is somewhere that they can be one day out of the week or for a week during the summer. Doing stuff on weekends, keep them off the streets, out doing anything. That's another really good reason to join Boy Scouts if you live inside of an area like mine. Now, if you live inside the country, it's also something great to do, but it's not going to have that influence. And lastly, outdoor cooking. It sounds like it's not a very important skill, but I mean, with everything going on right now and the way that the world is, we don't know what's going to happen, what's going to get shut down. You know, I mean, everything more and more is getting shut down every day. Outdoor cooking, you could be inside the middle of the woods. You could be going for a hike and get lost, be lost for a day, and learning how to make a fire, cook something on the fire, or even just eating the stuff around you is really beneficial. Uh, the next thing that I want to talk about is actually the social skills and leadership qualities of the BSA. Now, the BSA really pushes kids to come outside their bubble and really try new things, like I said before. The BSA requires you to communicate and become a leader inside your troop and inside the world to rank up if you want to get the Eagle, if that's what you're going for. Uh, I've seen kids come in, terrified to talk to anyone except for that one friend that they have. By the end of it, they're talking to everyone like it's not even a big deal. And that's probably a very important thing for me. Another thing is the leadership qualities that are taught. Uh, you, Boy Scouts is a boy-led organization, which means everything from at your troop level down is all decided by the boys. You decide where you want to go to summer camp, what you want to eat, what you want to do that year, if you want to go anywhere, if you want to do anything special. Everything is led by the boys. The adults have no say in it. They help when it comes to actual organization and accomplishing these goals, but the adults have no influence on what they do. I think that that's one of the most important things about Boy Scouts is it gives these kids these leadership roles and opportunities that really helps them inside the real world. I like to think that I became a true leader because of Boy Scouts. Because at the age of 13, I was leading a group of around 20 kids, every week, having to do meetings, really think outside the box, and it really was beneficial towards me. Now, BSA is a lot different than it was back in 1910 when it first started with Baden-Powell. One of the first things is it's a lot of change in culture, even within the past 20 years. When we look at one of the main things that happened recently is allowing girls to be in Boy Scouts. Now, This is good and bad. It brings in a new culture, a new change, but it also hurts one of the oldest things because there's Girl Scouts. And a lot of old heads really have a hard time understanding why we would do this. And then it brings up the next point. Boy Scouts actually filed for bankruptcy and is taking out second mortgages on a lot of their bigger properties. And sadly, this is because of the lack number of people that want to join because of all the hypocritical stuff about Boy Scouts, about how, I mean, to be blunt, people make comments all the time about Scoutmasters with their kids inside the tents and a bunch of stuff like that. Boy Scouts is, for homosexuals. Like, there's a lot of comments like that inside the world because they don't understand what goes on. And that really hurts the numbers because parents don't want their kids in Boy Scouts. So that's why we had to bring in more people. And 20 years ago, one of the biggest changes was actually allowing open homosexuality to be allowed. Before, not even close to being remotely possible. It was a very Christian organization, followed every Christian belief. Now we allow anything, anyone, not anything, anyone into Boy Scouts, which is really great for broadening our horizons. And that information is from Smith. So, in summary, Boy Scouts, one of the greatest joys of my life. I will always be pro Boy Scouts my entire life, unless if something crazy happens. But what the best thing about Boy Scouts is how it prepares you for the real world. Their motto is "Be prepared." That is from Jordan. It really does a great job through everything. Boy Scouts had a huge impact on my life. I love it with everything in me. I really hope that it does not die. Like it looks like at the decline that it's going. Thank you very much for your time.